Hi, ChefConf. I'm Waldo, a tech evangelist for Datadog, the premier observability platform. And I'm here to talk to you today about a tool that can help you in your everyday life. Have you ever seen a disagreement turn into an argument and then spin out of control? Or someone just took the absolute wrong meaning from what you said and got really mad about it? Me neither. See, in the early 2000s, I was in the Marine Corps and I had just gotten married. At the time, the Corps had a much higher divorce rate than the general population. Things like domestic disputes were using up a lot of people's energy and attention, decreasing both individual and unit readiness. So the base chaplains put on a mandatory 2-day seminar for all newlyweds. I'm distilling the useful parts down from 2 days to 5 minutes for you. One of the keys of active listening is the token. The person holding the token is the only person who speaks. When the token holder is done, they surrender it to the other person. The token can be anything held in the hand, but not all tokens are equal. To be avoided are things that might be weaponized or will break if they're thrown. I find that pot holders are a good size and feel, and if you do end up throwing it, they have a satisfying weight. So let's meet Sam and Terry. Sam and Terry can be any two people. They could be dev and ops, they could be significant others, they could be neighbors. Sam has a complaint that they need Terry to hear. Sam sits Terry down to listen and identifies the token. I recommend something that's not flaming, but you do you. Sam states the problem. Terry, being a good actor, listens. When Sam has stated their point, Terry is handed the token, as it's now Terry's turn to speak. But Terry doesn't respond to the complaint. Terry's job at this phase is to repeat back what Terry thinks that Sam is saying. Terry may also use this time to ask Sam to clarify parts of what was said, and then Terry returns the token to Sam. Terry probably won't get the summary right the first time. Sam will correct or clarify, and return the token again to Terry, and then Terry tries again. This repeats until Sam is satisfied that Terry understands what Sam is trying to say. Now that Terry's understanding of Sam's complaint is confirmed, Terry finally gets to respond to the complaint. The token trades hands, and now Sam must paraphrase what Terry has responded with. Terry is now the one to confirm or clarify, so that both are sure that Sam understands Terry's position, and Terry understands Sam's. This repeats back and forth until everyone has said their piece and agrees that their view has been heard. Now, the two can begin talking about moving towards a resolution. It's been 6 slides, and so far each person has made one statement. But due to the back and forth statement plus restatement plus confirmation, the pace of the argument is kept low, making it harder for emotions to boil over. This is a slow process. That's also a feature of it. By making the role of speaker and listener explicit and grinding the pace down till you have a confirmation of understanding, it becomes everyone's best interest to listen and consider what they're hearing. Some things you should avoid. Avoid hyperbole, saying things like always or never, using exaggerations or blowing things out of proportion. Avoid broad and overarching statements, saying things like you're a slob rather than could you please put the dirty clothes in the hamper. And you should absolutely avoid personal jabs, jokes, sarcasm, and snark. Arguments aren't necessarily a bad thing, but if they're unproductive or harmful, nothing gets addressed, much less resolved. Active listening is very easy to derail by a bad actor. I like to think that this is a feature rather than a flaw. There are plenty of ways that someone can be a bad actor, but there's really only one way to participate in active listening. Now, some people might not be able to participate in a given time and place. But if somebody continually refuses to participate, they may be signaling that they don't respect your concerns. So why does active listening work? Because it slows down the pace of the argument, making heated escalations less likely. By being assured that you will be heard, people can listen and absorb what is being said, rather than trying to time their quips and counters. Finally, you ensure that every point that is being said is understood by both people before moving on to the next. As fun as quipping is, talking past one another isn't a great way to communicate. What we usually want is to be heard and understood. Thank you for your attention as I describe this tool to you, and I hope that it helps you to argue better.